Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Podcast Assemble, the show where you come for your rambling, geeky download. My name's Tommy, and I am delighted, as always, to be joined by my friend and co-host who is across the pond. It's our resident 80s AI gone rogue of the pod, DL. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm well on my way to executing my plot to make everyone listen to hair metal at every gym session. That is my AI take over the world plot.
This is why we're friends. You know that, right? Because that is literally the first thing I would do if I was a rogue AI. I would just turn all music into hair metal.
I just need Def Leppard and Skid Row.
Stop it, Skinnerd. Where do you sit? In what realm do you sit with hair rock? Because like there's very different scales of this.
I would say that. Yeah, I would say that I'm probably actually not that into it, and that was a joke.
Stop.
Because my mom,
I so am.
so much of it growing up, man. Like the Scorpion and like all these, she was just. But it's funny because like a lot of the stuff she listened to, that I was like, this sucks. Like then I went and listened to like prog rock metal, which is kind of probably heavily influenced by some of it. So
Yeah, right. So you tell me you don't love Boston, you don't love Kansas, Foreigner. You don't love the likes of Pat Benatar.
I think it's just been overplayed.
I mean, if you've ever played Guitar Hero more than once, you know that it's been overplayed.
If you've ever been into a supermarket in the US. Yeah.
How are you, mate? It's been a minute.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. It's not been too long, but we're surviving.
The viewers don't know that.
But in the metaverse.
That's right. In the Troniverse.
It's true. True. This was a deep cut. The Troniverse relives.
Weirdly forward-thinking, terrible movie.
I mean, I guess like it probably was forward-thinking, but I wasn't born in the 70s to tell you.
1982. You sure? You look like
just
you were.
Watching it. Yeah, just watching it. I don't know. We'll get into it, but there's some things that age like a fine wine, and some that age like milk. And I know where this one stands in my book.
Guys, if you can't guess yet, we're going to be talking about Tron today because SEO and things we fully know about. We get SEO, but there is also a Tron Legacy sequel coming out very soon with bad bloke Jared Leto, which we may or may not talk about. But to get ahead of that SEO, we're going to talk about the one from 1982, which is actually one of our many anthologies. My dad used to be obsessed with this film growing up. I don't know. Did you have the same experience? Did your family even know of this film?
No, dude, Tron wasn't on the radar. It was like the usual suspects, the Midnight Express, that kind of stuff. But
oh, okay,
yeah, properly adult stuff. My dad wasn't really thinking about that, to be honest. Honestly, he made me watch The Ring at too young an age, and it scarred me.
The Ring, wow.
Me and friend of the show Kyle were talking about this, and
oh really? Yeah, go on.
That movie fucked me up. The Ring, like. I think I didn't watch horror for like a decade after, and
wow, right.
But now I'm back into it because of my brother. But anyway, yeah, and it's not been on my radar. But Tron, it's always been one. I was like, maybe I should go back and watch. Like, they don't remake something like that unless it's pretty, popular.
Hold that thought, man. Hold that thought. We're gonna be touching on that. I've got so many questions about this. So many questions about Hollywood and. Like which things get sequels and why, but we'll get there. What have you been up to, buddy? What's been going on?
Yeah, I've been staying busy, dude. Met up with friend of the show, Kyle, who's in London. We're going to Paris this weekend. So shout out to Kyle.
Cheers to you, friend of the show, Kyle.
And there was a tube strike this week.
Oh,
so
very London of you. How very British of you.
And in my hour and a half Uber or hour and 10-minute Uber ride to avoid my hour and 40-minute train ride that should have been 30 minutes. I basically finished dude, it was a nightmare.
That's the longest day.
Yeah, I finished the Wheel of Time books.
You were there so long, you finished the entire Wheel of Time series.
Yeah, it's a pretty large book, so that shows you how much time I had. No, and well, at least I finished the actual novel part because when I got to the end, I realized there was 100 pages of glossary.
What?
100 pages? Like,
oh wait, like an appendix? Or like
like this is what each thing is. Like,
oh, that's
like
fine.
All the lore.
I mean that's the same wild. With Twadum, right? Twadum does exactly the same thing.
It does, but it's like 4 pages. This is literally 100.
Fine. the book I'm writing is going to need a very large index at the moment. I've realized I'm like 2
Yeah,
chapters in,
maybe.
and I've got all this stuff, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm going to have some way of explaining this because it's just going to be thrown out there.
I kind of think like I don't know. I like the way like Red Rising does it a bit, but I like the way where it's like you're kind of figuring it
It's
out through the
simplified in Red Rising.
character's eyes. Like you don't need to know it all. You just need to know like a bit of context around it. And then
Yeah, yeah,
should you want to expand it, you do. But like, because I'm ready. I get caught up in trying to build the lore, and it's like it's just there's too much. You can
same,
keep going,
same.
and so I think you need to like kind of just build the economics, the pressures of the world,
Hmm.
the major conflict points, and like the lore that shapes the character's background. And that's like, and then just go from there. But anyway, this guy did not do that.
Well, it's interesting. No, no, it's interesting you say that because I took the bait. I keep getting Instagram ads for the masterclass thing, which is I definitely thought was a Mastercard thing, not masterclass. But one of the courses they have is on writing science fiction fantasy, and I literally started it, and they're like bite sized, they're like 10-minute chunks, and you can just sit and watch through them. And the person who is doing the class, whose name has completely gone from the top of my head, she expresses that her opinion is you need to know all the minutia. You need to get right down to things like the cycles of the moon and stuff like that. So like it's in your brain so that while you're writing the story, even if it isn't necessarily up front, it's all affecting the world. So you need that in your head. So that's really interesting that that's how you feel.
No, I mean, I would agree with that. Like, there's certain things, yeah, for sure that you need to have. But like, I don't know if I need to know who like the king from the fourth age of that was mentioned once and his entire background. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, cool. There was a king. Don't need to really know much more. Anyway, it was more funny because I was like, I thought I had another 3 chapters, but I just got to it. And there was like literally just a bunch of glossary terms.
You just ended it. Well, we're skipping ahead here, but like, you recommend? You think is good enough to dive into?
Yeah, it's got its issues, but I enjoyed it. It's like a beefed up fellowship.
Okay.
Like it's like a
Ah,
beefed up, more modern Fellowship of the
Fellowship's
Ring.
my favorite one.
But it's like it's the analogy is sound. Like it's basically a we went from here to there story. The world is changing and some people are thrust into it. It's there's a bunch of guides that are much more across this world and how it's changing that don't tell those people everything.
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm.
there's like I don't want to spoil much. It's out from the 70s. I would highly recommend. Apparently, it gets way better, and I really enjoyed this one.
I've heard that.
And then it
Heard that
gets
for
really
sure.
bad for a bit, and then it gets way better again. But given there's 14 books, like I think I've got a while till it gets bad.
I'm sure we've talked about this before, but is this the one Brandon Sanderson finished?
Yeah, so Sanderson, I got some more details on that.
Uh-huh.
Because Kyle was giving me the debrief. Sanderson essentially only had like one book out,
Mhm.
and it was like doing moderately well, not nothing compared to what he is today.
Uh-huh.
But and his editor, as he was writing some other ones, was like his editor was Robert Jordan's wife, who's the author of this.
Ah.
And she
Ah.
basically picked him and was like her husband had died at this point, and she's like, "You need to be you," because apparently Robert Jordan was like his ultimate idol inspiration for writing, and she
Yeah,
could
it makes
tell by
sense.
just what he was
You can
writing. She's like,
tell.
"You need to be the guy that finishes this," and that's how he got the gig, which is pretty crazy.
Must be nice.
Like, that's like nepo connections, like but it's also like right place, right time, like, the prepare but, like, being prepared for it.
There's so much luck in stuff like that. Yeah,
But you
absolutely.
have to be
So much
prepared, right?
luck.
You have to be writing, you have to be like so, like, it's just interesting how the world works, but good for him, and I heard those are the best ones by a couple different people, which is crazy. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to I've got a long line of books to read first. I'm gonna have to check it out at some point. We did a fun thing this week, actually.
I don't think you're gonna have the patience for this one. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest. If I had to bet
yeah,
that you
but
finished it
I didn't think I'd have the patience for Lord of the Rings, and I adored it. I smashed through
yeah,
that.
but when did you read it?
So, oh, when I had a lot more time on my hands than I currently do.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
when I was a significantly younger man, with significantly, let's say, better or worse facial hair. You can make up your own minds. We did a fun thing. I thought you'd do. I actually went out with a friend of the show, Ryan, last week. Have I talked about Aunty Donna before? Have we talked about that? I'm sure we have. I'm sure I've brought it up on
I
the
don't
pod
know,
before.
maybe.
It's this comedy trio from Melbourne, and they do these really, like, obscure comedy bits. Like, the only way I can sort of think about even prefacing it is it's if you sort of somehow manage to just smash together, like, the weird off the wallness of, like, Monty Python with, like, the sketches of, like, the Conchords. and you just like
Oh, wow.
smash the two together, and the humor is just like it's so unique. It's the type of thing that I couldn't just recommend to you and say, go away and watch this one skit. You'll fall in love with it. You almost have to persevere with it to really like it. It's a real. I don't even know how to explain this to you, but they're doing like a set of live shows at the moment. They were in Sydney. It was phenomenal. Like we had such a good time. They're so off the wall. There is a bit in as often with sketch comedy shows they brought someone up onto stage with them. But like the gag was, and spoilers if anyone just wants the Aunty Donna and you're watching this. In fact, it might have even finished by now, but like the gag was that the person they brought up onto stage, it's like they forgot about them almost. So they were just sat on a chair and they'd been there for like 5 minutes. The sketch they were doing finished, and then they just carried on with the show. So the guy was just sat there for like 20 minutes, just in the back of the stage, like, ha, 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 ha. And then like the trio, like they did their thing, they like bowed and left the stage, and they just kind of left him there. And he kept trying to get up to leave. And the bit was they'd come back and like put him back on the chair and keep him there till like people started leaving. It was very good. It's very funny, man. Like good times getting out with a friend of the show, Ryan.
The Flight of the Conchords, man, that's a deep cut.
Yeah,
Deep cut.
they've not been around for a while, man.
That's an HBO show, isn't it?
I just know it's two Kiwi dudes who are incredibly funny. This one I forget the names of the two, but what the main one I saw in Edinburgh Fringe Festival 15 years ago at this point, and he was just so funny. But again, so off the wall, so different, so wacky. His like whole show revolved around something about robots from space, and I remember like the beginning of it was he had this like it almost looked like it'd been built by a kid. It was like tinfoil like spaceship and it just like came down onto stage. It was great. Do you know Hannibal Buress?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You definitely know him. He's been in the MCU. He's done a bunch of stuff. His stand-up comedy is very dry, almost stoner
He's
humor.
pretty old. He's been around for a while, right?
He's been around for a while. He's very funny. He was either the opening act for this comedian, or
Yeah, I've seen Hannibal Buress.
or he was the show beforehand. He's very funny. So it was If you ever get the chance to go to Edinburgh Fringe while you're over there, you absolutely should. It's genuinely
When is
funny.
it?
For Edinburgh Fringe, I think it's in August, so it's usually around summertime. So the bit of summer you actually get over there, you need to go and enjoy, because Edinburgh's beautiful too, like such a nice place.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Sure. Guys, feel free to jump around, by the way. There will be time codes in the description, as always, supplied by Mr. Matthew Bliss of mbpod.com. If you want to hear about us talk about our weeks, hear about friend of the show, Kyle, and what we've been up to, and some interesting recommendations for TV shows, movies, things like that we've been up to, stick around. But if you want to stick to the main topic and hear us riff about a movie that both of our dads, apparently, not both of our dads, liked, there will be time codes in the description, as I say. And yeah, please, we need your help. We need you to give us your subscription and 5 stars. Please help us out. Dre's awkward face there said absolutely everything. So if you hit that subscribe while you're down there, 5 stars while you're jumping around, please do. You can help with algorithms, things we don't truly understand. So, DL.
Yes.
Speaking of recommendations and things you've been up to, what have you been up to?
Well, I've basically I've watched for the main topic. I've finished this book. What
Good.
else
I'm glad you watched some of the main topic.
No, but it's like we've had like 4 days between recording, family. So.
Yeah, it's true. I have so much like backlog of stuff I've been watching though. Like I need to get you across so much stuff. There is a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to reach into the backlog. Oh, I just started Wednesday, to be fair. With the misses. So that was one of the recents.
Wednesday.
Only an episode in or two. It's just a classic Netflix show, right? That blows up. Netflix, when they're doing like, I think really what they're targeting is like so much stuff that you can't get rid of it. And then the occasional ultra cross age demographic show. You know what I mean? Like that's their ideal world. Is like, can they just make a Wednesday, a Stranger Things? Give me another one. Is there another one? I don't know. Oh, like Enola Holmes.
Is there another one? I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Like those kind of movies that get the whole family a little bit involved. Like, and it's
Black Mirror's on Netflix now.
Yeah, I don't think Black Mirror qualifies as that, but
particularly all family.
But you know what I mean. I think that's what they're going for. It's in Jenna Ortega's pretty good. She's entertaining.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean I don't remember loving the first series, if I'm honest. And I've kind of been, every time we open Netflix, I see it flash up, and like the partner, I try and distract her with something else. So I'm just like, I know she's gonna want to watch it at some point. So I'm just like, yeah, we'll get there. But like there's so much and there's so much good stuff coming out this month. Like the new Slow
What?
Horses season is coming out this month, and I can't
Oh,
wait.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait to gobble it up. I'm like nom 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 nom. Every time I see trailers for stuff coming out on Apple, I'm like this. There's a new Mark Ruffalo thing coming out, so I just need to not start too many new things right now, so we can be ready when Slow Horses gets out. I want it to be top of mind. Do you like the Wednesday series then? Is it like
Yeah.
is it next? It's obviously a continuation.
It's fine. It's like she's good enough that I'll watch it, and it's, like, easy with my, partner. But, like, I'd rather watch Slow Horses. I just can't get anytime there's spy something, it's like Gail's automatically like, "Nope." Like, it's like a hard qualifier. So,
Can't you even like just get us to watch like the first like 10 minutes, the first episode? Just be like, just watch this 10 minutes and tell me what you think.
she kinda clocks out when it comes to, like, action and spy. Like, I have to really use my goodwill to
That's
get those things
interesting.
done. So for, like, a show, it's even a more difficult, like,
That's
you
so
know,
interesting. I wonder why. Like
10-episode
she's got
series.
such a unique taste.
That's one way to describe it. I think she's in her reality world. She likes the reality crap.
Ah, yeah, fair. Is she currently watching Love Is Blind?
Yeah, yeah, she's all in that world, and I just, I cannot. I cannot.
Yeah, yeah. I let my partner do that when anytime I'm not here. I will make time to go out so that she can
Yeah,
watch her shows. I'm like, like I'm gonna go see Friends of Jacob for like an hour. I don't need to see
yeah,
this right now. We actually, speaking of TV shows, we finished one recently that I mean it's in that same sort of vein that we were just talking about. And I think
yeah.
you would probably like it. It's called MobLand. Annoyingly, all one word, but the L is capital. I don't know
That's a
why, but
Netflix,
that
isn't it?
alliteration really winds me up. No, I think it's Amazon. It's got an incredible cast. It's Tom Hardy, Paddy Considine, Lara Pulver's in this, Helen Mirren's in this, Pierce Brosnan's in this. It is a phenomenal cast. It is good, but it is not great. Like there is something that isn't quite there. Like there's a lot of hammy acting. There's Pierce Brosnan, who I think is actually Irish, somehow failing to do an Irish accent. Have I talked about this in the podcast before? I feel like I have. I don't know how the man managed to get it so wrong. And Helen Mirren, bless her. We watched Thursday Murder Club recently, which is a thing my mum is obsessed. It's a set of books. My mum's obsessed with it, written by Richard Osman, I think. But they've just made a Netflix movie out of one of them. Helen Mirren's in it. She's in this Mobland too. Whatever she has done to her face, plastic surgery wise, needs to be undone immediately. It is just
Oh, no.
no bien, no bien. It's bad. Like it's
You
like
can't
she looks like
redo
a
it.
cat. She looks like a cat. She's got like so much filler in this part of her face. It's like sticking right out. And I'm like, and like I'm distracted. I'm trying to watch the show, and I'm just lost looking at her and how bad her accent is. Anyway, there's some great performances in it. Tom Hardy's obviously great. Paddy Considine's wonderful too. He's a favorite. Actually, I love that guy. The story is, as I said, it's good. It's not great. Like I feel
Yeah.
like it's lacking a little magic, a little something, something. So, for example, like Gangs of London, it had a grittiness to it. Like I don't know if you watch Gangs of London, but I remember the first season. I absolutely loved it. That the ending was a bit dodge, but like there was a grittiness to it. There was a real hardness to the characters, and they actually sounded Irish, which was nice. Whereas in this, I feel like it's almost like that thing whereby they've got too many stars and they're trying to have everyone have as much screen time as each is in each's contract. And I'm a bit like, just tell me a good story. Like, I think you would probably like it. You like shit stuff, so maybe check it out. But like, don't get your hopes too
Okay, well, honestly, I don't have time for shit stuff these days, so if it's mediocre,
high. Yeah, we've talked about this. We've talked about
I
this.
I move on. Yeah, I move on.
People like it, man. People do like it. Like it's got a good IMDb score from memory, so you never know. It could easily just be me. Like you know how picky I am. I'm a picky little bastard.
This is true. That was a nice little Irish accent. Well,
It's an 8.4 on IMDb. Just saying.
oh, wow, that's actually quite high. Maybe I do need to give it a
Right.
little listen, a little watch.
Check it out. Maybe check it out.
Yeah, I've been doing the audiobook thing. I
What you been listening to?
I was listening to The Name of the Wind actually again, just because 'cause I'm trying to, like,
Uh huh.
re-up on my foundational stuff for fantasy and, like, what I like. And I hadn't read that one for a while. Yeah, it's such a good book. It's really good.
I've I've worked out what it is about Name of the Wind that I don't like. And we talked about this. I think we talked about this when we were on holiday recently together, which also makes us sound like a couple. We were talking about Name of the Wind, and I remember saying that it didn't necessarily fulfill its promise, and I feel like that really frustrated me. It felt like when you started and you entered that world, and there were these like demons running around, and they had like knife hands or whatever, and everything. They were cutting people up and stuff, and it was like it was dark and it was mysterious, and like you're meeting these characters, and they all had like so much promise. And then the world you were then thrown into like 2 chapters later made you kinda go, "Ah, this is a school academy thing. This isn't really what I was expecting." I was watching a really good YouTube video, I'm gonna find it and add it into the,
Fair critique.
ins yeah, no, I'm gonna find it, add it into the description, and it was talking about how to start a screenplay and how to set up a story, and the sort of general idea of it is the first 10 pages of a screenplay, which roughly probably equates to the first couple of chapters of a book, needs to really grab you and engage you, but also give you promises about what it's gonna deliver, and that's what that book didn't do. That book, it gives you promises and then never delivers on them.
No, it made the promises. That's a core part of writing. Like, I think that it definitely makes promises that it, like, delivers partially in the sense that, like, you
You're really trying here.
No, I just read, like, but it's slow. It, like, all happens in,
It
like,
is
the
slow.
first half of the book, and then it doesn't happen for, like, the next book and a half. It's, like, all new stuff. So, like, the spoilers for Name of the Wind.
Meth Dragon.
Spoilers, spoilers. It's,
I haven't read the second book.
I won't ruin anything for you. There's cool new stuff that seems to tie to a broader lore in the Chandrian, but he hasn't, like, made that arc yet. Like, there's some stuff where it's, like, the coolest stuff in fantasy in the second book, but I don't yet have any idea how it's gonna connect to.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is he gonna be a king killer in the second book? Does he get there?
No, no.
Then I don't, the promise is gone. I need more of that. I need to see him becoming that guy.
No, but he didn't promise the king killing. But that's just the title. He didn't. I think the promise is a story about tragedy that he is responsible for, that unlocks something in the world that is, like, fucked up the whole world, that he is his
Mm,
fault, and it's like the hubris before the fall. That's the promise, and it's because of his pursuit of the tragic death of his
the wind,
parents.
the name of the wind. Oh, yeah.
I think it's
Oh, yeah.
like, I think that's the promise, and I think it does a lot to indicate, like, move you along there, but it doesn't give you enough. It gets really, really distracted by, like, the fun narrative of school, which is awesome, but it doesn't give you enough little nuggets along the way to keep you, like, it gets really distracted, and it does it really well in the first half, like, but it doesn't do it well in the second half of the book. It's, like, way more about his little schoolyard life as opposed to, "Hey,
Escapades.
I'm tracking that. I'm trying to figure out who the Chandrian is." And that leads me to uncovering all sorts of crazy stuff, elevating me to the point where I kill a king because of something probably to do with the Chandrian. But, like, we're not even close to that. So that's
I
too
was
I agree with the
Googling,
critique.
yeah, after we talked about it, I was actually Googling, like,
Yeah.
why hasn't he finished? 'Cause it's supposed to be a trilogy, right? But then it's the way it's set up, there's surely no opportunity for it to actually be a trilogy. I was Googling, like, why has he not carried on with this book series? And I think it's just as simple as he's a bit stuck. He's gone full George R. R. Martin. Like, he just like, he got early fame off the book, and he feels like he can't live up to it. So it's an interesting one.
I mean, I don't think he said that, but I think that's what most people surmise.
I think the summation is
Yeah.
exactly that, yeah. So
Yeah.
do you recommend The Name of the Wind, the first book? Is this something you
Yeah, I think I've already talked about this in the pod. It's definitely really good. I think, and there's so much that it does really well. It creates mystique super, like, unbelievably well across all the books.
here's a question for you. You said you're audiobooking it. How are the audiobook, like, readers?
One of some of the best I've ever had.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so interesting.
It's really talented voice acting.
Is it multiple actors or is it all the same
I think
person?
it's one guy, which is even more impressive.
Yeah, wow, that's epic.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm audiobooking the beginning of the Empire of Silence book that I'm trying to get into at the moment, and I really don't like the guy's voice, and it's really putting
Yeah.
me off because every time I pick it up to read it, I have that guy's voice in my head now, and I'm like, "Ah." sometimes it's really good when that happens, like Red Rising, Ephraim. I say Ephraim. He
It's like Ephraim's
the
voice is
guy who
yeah.
does his audiobook is perfect. That's how I imagined him in the first place. Whereas this one, like, he throws a Scottish accent out there for no reason at one point for like this ruler guy, and I'm like, dude, like you got like reel it in. This is real bad. So it's I think it makes a big difference if you're audiobooking.
It does. It's like it can make or break. Yeah.
Huge difference.
This
Yeah.
enhances. And it's also got like it's one of those ones that's got like little samples like in like
Oh yes, I like that.
you know, like with the wind blowing. It's got like some, you know, it's more than just your typical audiobook read.
It's a dynamic audio. Is that what they call it? Is it dynamic audiobook?
You know, but you know better than
sounds wank. Cool. I got one more thing I was going to mention to you before we scoot on to our main topic. I watched a film which I definitely should have watched many, many years ago. Have you ever seen Starship Troopers?
Yeah, of course. A long time ago.
I hadn't seen it, so we finally got around to watching it, and I thought it was really enjoyable. It had a weird
I
like
forget.
gloss to it. I mean, I get it. Like I get the whole it's like a retrospective or almost like a propaganda for the war machine. I just liked how they did it. I thought it was really like interestingly done. Probably better than some do it nowadays.
I forget the plot other than like they're going and killing bugs.
They're going to space to fight these bug aliens, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole story. And then there's like Denise Richards is there. I don't need to say anymore. She's great. Love her. She can just be anywhere. But there's like this whole like love thing between who should he end up with? And it's obviously the other person. But like someone thinks someone's dead, and then someone else dies, and like I think it's because the story, like it's pretty bare bones. Like it's not exactly like it's not pushing any boundaries of storytelling. But if you're looking at it purely from the perspective of it is a satire of, war and propaganda, and the victor writes the history books type thing.
Yes.
Very interesting. Got a lot going for it. And I think at the time it got written off when it first came out. A lot of people were like, it's a bit, who knows about this? But I think the retrospect of it makes it a good watch. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. Denise Richards is also awesome. She should be in more stuff. Bring her back from wherever she is. Where is she?
I couldn't tell you.
Where did Denise Richards end up? She would have been really good in that Naked Gun reboot, which they had Pamela Anderson for. She'd have been really good in that.
Did you like that?
I will tell you more about that next week. I did go and see it in the cinemas. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it next week. I'll give you next week. Next time we record. We do this every 2 weeks now. I'll tell you more about it then. So, guys, if there's anything you recommend that we haven't talked about, hit us up. You can find us at Podcast Assemble or thepodcastassemble.com or our website, www.podcastassemble.com. It's going to be on the screen somewhere. Matt puts it on the screen. Matt does such a good job. He puts these things on the screen for us. So you can see it. You can just take it. Go and send us an email. Send us memes, send us news, send us reviews. I miss memes. I said this last time. I do miss when people used to send us random memes. Get it? Let's restart that. If anyone wants to send us some memes, please do. We appreciate it. DL.
Yes.
Do you want to preface our main topic this week?
It's the main topic theme.
Our main topic this week is 1982 Tron.
Ooh.
In preparation for a movie we might not even watch, depending on how the reviews go.
I'll probably watch it, but I don't know if we'll talk about it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe once it's on Disney Plus. I don't know if I'll pay for it. Tron Ares is the third one that's coming out with Jared Leto. I think we already spoiled that. But it is written by Steven Lisberger, who's pretty much only done Tron movies.
Literally,
now he's done a bunch of stuff.
Career.
It's like Tron Legacy, Tron Evolution, Tron Uprising, Tron Identity.
He did a lot of writing. In terms of directing, I think he only did like a bunch of almost like weird satire comedic movies. Some others have them and that type of thing. So I don't think it's a particularly storied career.
I mean,
interesting
like
one.
Tron,
though.
it is.
Do you have a stupid plot summary for Tron 1982?
I do. Futuristic sci-fi hacker action movie running on Microsoft Paint that needs the OS updated from 87. Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Mine is just, this is what you get when an 80s computer nerd goes on an acid trip with a screenwriter. It's literally like,
maybe
you can feel the acid and cocaine vibes in that writer's room. Like immediately, the minute you start this film, you're like, oh yeah, this is some fucked up people.
Well, I mean, it was Disney. Is it Disney?
It is Disney. Yeah, it is. Oh, it is now. Like back in the day. No, I mean this was a property bought by Disney a few years ago, probably just before Tron Legacy came out. But I like the cast. Jeff Bridges, obviously the dude. He plays. Everyone has a dual role in this, at least one dual role. So he plays Kevin Flynn or Clue. Bruce Boxleiter, great name, Bruce Boxleiter. If we had an equivalent to Goofy IMDb picture, which is either best name or best character name, Bruce Boxleiter's got to be up there, like way up there. That's a good one.
Be. Yeah.
He plays, interestingly, actually the titular Tron, but in the real world, he is Alan Bradley. He's actually known for a few things. He was in The Orwell. He was in Babylon 5. He also came back for Tron Legacy. So he's kept himself busy over the years. A lot of TVs. A few of these people are quite
in this franchise.
prolific TV people. Yeah. A few of these people are prolific in that way. David Warner, who played Sark Automaster Control Program, we're going to be talking about. RIP to that guy. He had a really great TV career. He was also in Titanic, Star Trek 6. He did a bunch of stuff. Cindy Morgan, he plays Laura or Yuri. That's the core cast of this. Like outside of that, like I didn't really remember any of the guys. There was a few other people, but I was like,
yeah, no, totally fair.
Do we need to remember these people? But at the time, like, so we like we texted this about this before we started talking about this, and you were sort of saying like, "Holy shit, this is bad," and I get that perspective. But like at the time, this is 1982. Like if you think about the perspective of real CGI, like proper, actually good CGI, came with in like the 90s with Jurassic Park, whereas 1982. They pretty much were using paint to make this. Like the computer making them was like 3 megabytes. So it really pushed a lot of boundaries. There's like a lot of different stuff in here, which is really interesting. I liked the reflection on the corporation and AI. What's the plot of this though? Like what happens? What goes on in this deal?
I mean, it's actually pretty simple. Like this guy is pretty angry about somebody stealing his code.
The dude in his angry way.
Yeah, the dude is Kevin Flynn is pretty angry about this guy stealing the code for his video games and taking over this company in doing so. And there's a bunch of people that work there that also kind of are angry about that a bit and under this tyranny of this CEO. Yeah, who like actually is being manipulated by the master MCP, master something protocol.
Yeah. The MCU protocol.
Yeah, whatever it is. And I honestly couldn't tell you more than that without spoil, but I guess it's spoilers for Tron Legacy. We don't care.
We'll do full spoilers.
He gets sucked in to the game because they're looking for sucked in, not sucked. Calm yourself.
Well, I mean, later on in the film, I mean, like they share a little kiss later on in the film, so like he gets sexual with robots. Let's put it that way.
This is true. He takes over or he gets sucked into the game after his attempt to take over the system and find the evidence that will show that he should be CEO and that this other guy basically stole his idea. Gets sucked into the game, and it's like a gladiator, in the digital bit world. And you're on an adventure.
The 3 megabyte world.
Yeah.
Like I said a minute ago, it's pretty bare basic for a plot. Like there's like in terms of the progression of this, and one of the things that kind of annoyed me about it was, and we'll talk about it. Like Flynn doesn't really have an arc in this. He's sort of the same guy at the beginning and the end. He doesn't really have any like character progression. But if you think about the story at like a very high level, it is so early to the game in some like themes that are really kind of relevant now. Things like corporate control, digital identity, man versus machine, the types of things that are really prevalent in today's society. And almost now talking about them or making a movie about those types of things, you tell me if you think so, but it's almost cliche at this point. They started that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is cliche. It's all how you do it, I think, with these kind of things that are super, what's the word? Tropey.
Yeah.
You can't ground it in the trope. You got to ground it in like the people and the reality on the field. Whereas this is very much the like probably foundational trope movie. So they're doing things a bit, the layer of like character stuff is as simple as he took my job and I'm angry about it.
Yeah.
That just basically drives the entire plot.
It is literally. Like, I mean, you would be pretty pissed if he was the CEO and you should be the CEO. Probably.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you'd be a bit angry, but I think that there's ways to like a modern film with I don't know what I'm expecting out of Tron 1982,
but from 1982, dude.
a modern film would like probably tie that to like the sacrifices he made to try and build
Sure.
this thing in his personal life, to like make you feel the cost of like, oh, you also lost this
He lives
while
in an
losing
arcade.
that. Yeah, like it's too jolly for me to actually think like he would care that much. It sounds like he's got a pretty good life. Why would you just?
He just sounds like he's got it pretty sweet. He
Yeah,
sort of indicates he lost millions of dollars, but it's like you've got a cool little penthouse apartment. You seem pretty chilled out. Maybe, maybe you're doing your audition for the dude. Who knows? He didn't seem that upset, I think. But like you sort of like joked about it before, but I wanted to ask you about this. Like this wasn't necessarily a hit. So I think the budget was around 15 million and it made something like 33 million. So like
yeah.
made its money back and a little bit probably. I don't think marketing budgets were quite as big back then. But that begs the question. Like this was a cult classic, right? Like I said, my dad loved it. Like I know people who do like this. I don't see it in the cultural zeitgeist. I know Tron Ares is coming out, but like I don't. My question to you, what gets a sequel these days? Like, is it just fucking anything? But then like there are things that don't get sequels, and you're like, well, why aren't we seeing that? So why is this getting another legacy sequel?
If it was like a box office hit originally, like yeah, but like it's, I guess I don't know, man.
It's weird, isn't it?
I think it's just like original IP is probably just harder.
It is.
It's just harder. I
Literally
think it's probably just harder for like, not that it doesn't exist. A ton of writers are out there making original stuff, I'm sure. I think it's just harder for the machine to get it made. And that's just like a basic incentive. Like if everybody's job, it's harder to do the one thing and
Yeah,
easier to do
absolutely.
another. You in the bureaucratic machine are going to generally tend towards what's easier, not what is the right thing to do, for creatives and it's yeah. It's probably just the bureaucracy set up that way,
Right. Well, 100%. And it's like, it's quite clear that the mid-budget movie it's pretty much extinct at this point, right? You can probably get a low-budget movie. I think of a lot of the horror films that come out at the minute, they're so low budget, but they make a lot of money. That's why they keep churning them out. That's why that low
Yeah.
budget sort of like genre, it's almost a genre of its own at this point, sort of like sticks around. But that subset of $300+ million movies, like a movie that comes to cinema nowadays is going to be minimum 250 million. Like you don't hear about a movie that gets to cinema that isn't over that sort of budget cap, and a lot of that is to do with like producers and CGI and all the things that come with having to put together a big production. But like that mid-budget movie is kind of dead, and that's where a lot of the interesting creative stuff came from. That's where you get like things like Die Hard. Like that wasn't a big budget movie at the time, so like, and you get people being able to take creative chances. And when you see things about like The Rock, and A24 is perfect for this. When you see things like The Rock doing the Smash movie, what's it called? That sounds like a porn film. That definitely does not. I was going to call it the Smash Bros. I was like, that's not what it is. Like
Nice.
that new Benny Safdie movie is coming out. The Smashing Machine with The Rock. Like you see him doing that, sort of like taking like a creative chance. And I'm like, you don't really though, are you? Like you're doing a mid-budget movie, but you're not really taking like a creative chance. So like, it feels like this would sit in that.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Like The Rock is the worst. I could have thought of any other A24 movie, and I went with the one the fucking Rock is in.
No, like I guess my point is like he's probably typecast as like a blockbuster dude.
Well, he totally is. He did an interview just the other day where about the Smash Machine movie. Like, watch it. It actually looks pretty good. He plays I think it's a UFC or a mixed martial arts star who is basically the wrestler, but for mixed martial arts. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. Good film. Totally shouldn't fight. It's his passion, so he has to do it anyway. And Emily Blunt's really sad that he's going to do it anyway. I can't remember where I was going with this. The Rock, he did an interview the other day where he is effectively saying he's been pigeonholed by Hollywood, and this is him trying to break that stereotype. It's interesting because
well, I mean, there's a reason. Look at the way he looks.
Right. But if you look at other wrestlers like Batista, he's lost all that weight now. He's tiny. Like,
well, that's my
tiny.
point. Like, if he really wants to go not be typecasted as the big brawny action blockbuster dude, stay off the roids, bro.
Stop taking him. He's still a giant boulder. Like you look at him and you go, like, you are still a huge human being.
You're just not going to get the poetic, role looking like that. Like it's
right.
even Hemsworth like tried to be like a hacker in one movie, and I was like, this is just not how hackers look.
Yes, he did. Well, I mean, you think about people like John Cena though. He's made like a career being the funny guy. So like they can do it. Wrestlers can definitely do it, and you can remain big and do these things.
But like, though, I would argue all three of those guys are typecasted, except for maybe Bautista, and
I'd say
barely
he's broken the mold. Yeah, he's
barely.
Well, he's
Yeah,
he's done a ton of interesting stuff. Like he was in Dune, and I think he's going to get more interesting as he develops. He seems like he's actively trying to take chances. But getting off topic here. My question I was going to ask you off the kind of the back of that was when you were watching this, and I know you didn't love this film just by what you're prefacing it, but like, did you think the stakes felt oddly real for like 2025? Some of the things around AI taking over. There was literally a comment in this. I've got it written down. I was like, computers will start thinking and people will stop thinking. I was like, that sounds like today. I don't write any of my own emails.
yeah. I think there's like definitely some.
It's prophetic.
I'm not like a huge like AI is taking over the world guy, but I do think there's a lot of that point is for sure. Like I think it equips a lot of people to feel like they're experts on a lot of things and not think about things, and like it could vary like it just exacerbates what we already have with the internet, where like a lot of people, the critical thinkers, will use it to gain leverage. People that aren't equipped to do that will use it to will extend their that flaw of like just being able to yeah. So like, well, it's not idiocy, but like they'll be able to defend it more. They'll be able to go deeper into their rabbit hole. They'll be able to think less, more at scale. So yeah, I think that there's some truth to that part of it for sure. And
I agree with that.
The corporate espionage stuff, like, I mean, yeah, that's existed before AI and after and always will. Like
Totally. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I feel like what really worked for me in this was that neon aesthetic, bringing it back to like the basics of the film. Like I liked the themes and the tones of this film, but I think that aesthetic really worked for me. But I'd love to get your POV on this. I was watching it and I was like, I don't know how far, and it's a CGI from 1982. What do you expect? But I was like, I don't know how far away anything is from each other. Like, how fast are you going? Like, can they catch up super easy? So, like, there was no understanding of like the physics of it. If that's a stupid thing to say.
Yeah, because it's like all drawn and like I don't know. I remember just like watching this and feeling like I was back in like early Macintosh computer game days as a kid. Like those games that like
Pong,
like not even Pong, but like there was like these computer games you would play. Like I'm like I don't even remember what they were because I was so young. I would have been like 6 to like 10 age when I played, but they were all my mom's Macintosh, and they were just these random games that were like that level of fidelity, and it just made me think back to those times, which was like a nice little feeling for a bit. It was I'd forgotten those memories, and it that was a positive for this film. Yeah,
it's got some good vibes to it. This film, I like the vibes of it. I guess speaking of the games, the racing one is just Snake, but there's two of you.
I actually liked it. That was an interesting concept.
It was fun. I liked it too.
Yeah. Honestly, I wish it leaned more into the games, this movie.
Same.
There was a lot of running around.
Yeah, and there was a lot of like, we need to get to that point, and then instead of, you know what I mean? I was like, you get a bike a minute ago. Why don't you use that?
I thought this was going to be like this gladiator, like get to each level, like work within the rules, and it like wasn't actually that.
Yeah, it definitely deviated from my expectations more, but it was punchy. So it was like, what was it, like an hour and a half long? So like, I feel like maybe they thought they needed to vary. Like they tried to get some variance in there in terms of like the different modes of transport and stuff. But I was like, the first one's interesting. Let's not move away from that,
Well, it's more like I thought it was going to be almost like the Mortal Kombat movie where it's like a tournament and you're like going, that's what my expectation was. And it's like they break out and then for the next like hour, they're just like running away. Yeah.
Yeah. Like as if no one's ever thought of that. I was like, guys, like, come on.
Yeah.
I guess they did like build up Jeff Bridges as like the chosen one almost. They're like, he's different. He's got something. Yeah. And then, well, like, isn't Tron like, he's the fucking title of the film? Isn't Tron like the like code that's been created to defeat the bad guy? I was sitting there and I was like, why does Jeff Bridges need to be there if you've created this fucking code to do it? What's happening here?
He's there because the other guy scanned him. right?
That's fair.
And wanted to like, and it was more like a hubris thing, which actually would have like been interesting if they like towed that line longer. And
Oh, any proper themes would have been great in this. You know what you're saying about like having the memory of like some video games you played growing up. I actually got a lot of that too, but more from like the sound design.
yeah,
Like when I was watching it, and you were watching the games, the actual sounds in the games really sort of they were very unmistakably 80s. And it really got me in the feels at points. I was like, this is so cool. Like these are things that bring back core like childhood memories for me.
yeah. Like meaning like when you have that moment of like something old that like triggers something that uncovers like a
Right.
a
I'm
feeling that you
triggered.
hadn't felt in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, let's be honest. The hardcore frisbee on acid was utter fucking nonsense. Like, what was that? Like, what are the rules? Like, how do you actually win?
Yeah, I actually I didn't mind that part. I didn't mind any of the gladiator games. I was down. It was like
I had fun with this film. I had fun on many levels. Like, I was enjoying it a lot. The performances, not so much.
yeah, fair enough.
It was very much of that 80s like mold though, where it's not really like acting, is it? It's kind of just a lot of people just shout their lines or say them quietly and move on. Like that's that's the variance. This is like
Yeah, it's very like it was very campy in that way, like in
right,
some respects, where
right.
I was just kind of like, what about Jeff Bridges?
I liked him. I thought it was fun.
He was kind of just like cheeky the whole time. It was interesting seeing like a younger him.
Yeah, yeah.
That made me want to like look at his back catalog because I really only know Jeff Bridges with gray hair, to be honest.
Absolutely same. And I was looking, his back catalog is extensive. And like to me, he popped into being as the dude. Like that is like the first memory at all I
Yeah.
have of him. So I'm like, what did you do before? What did you do before that? Like where you been? Like tell me about your life. Like I want to know more because he's a bit of a heartthrob in this.
Yeah, like nerdy heartthrob, like that
Yeah,
cheeky nerdy. Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
come on. It's called Tron. Like come on. He just got a natural charisma though that kind of like drags you in a
yeah. There
little
is
bit. I was
there
like,
is a charisma in this that that's different than his other stuff, and I think it's just the youthful.
definitely. More so than his co-stars. I found them a bit like wooden. Like and the weird love like triangle angle. I was like, what's happening here? Like what are we doing? Is this gonna be a theme in a film? And then when he like kisses like the virtual version of Laurie or whatever she's called, I was like,
Yeah,
that's weird.
let them
That's
have
real weird.
AI relationships, dude.
But he's not AI. He's literally a man.
Well, that's happening today. People are having AI ChatGPT girlfriends. It's okay.
I've seen her. Good film.
Well, find solace where you find it.
Real good film.
Uh,
Are you trying to tell me something? Are you telling me that Gale isn't actually real? Is this happening?
no, I'm just worried about those people. That would be my bigger worry. Yeah, with the AI stuff.
What did you think of the villain?
It's fucking basic, isn't it?
Yeah. Sark is very the same guy plays three characters. He plays Stark. Oh my god, I can't even remember his goddamn name. The evil corporation owner who is it's written right here, David Warner. But it's Ed Dillinger, that's the name. And also he plays the Master Control Program. Bit one-dimensional, but then he played three characters. So can you say that?
That's the thing about these, like, and I'm kind of struggling with parts of this in my own thing I'm trying to write. When you have like an AI overlord or like a computer overlord, like by design,
You're gonna
it
say
is like,
overlord. You're gonna say weird. You're gonna go full
overlord. By design, overlords are inhuman and like kind of wooden and not like great characters. And so you have to, I think that's why a lot of books don't go that route. They try and humanize like the good ones, like Red Rising, AI is just gone, right? They're like, oh, we've banned it. Dune, we've banned it. Like a lot of worlds kind of take it off the table. I think because it's such a like hard thing to make interesting as a villain.
one of the inspirations for at least the world of my book is Horizon Zero Dawn, and they do an interesting thing with it that it's kind of this lingering thing in the background that's almost like the hairs standing up on the back of your neck, and you're finding out things about it and how previous humans had used it. I find that a really interesting way to go about it, whereas this is just kind of like, yep, he's taking over the world, and now he wants Chinese in his database. I was like, that's a weird thing to say. Surely you'd have Chinese.
Maybe
Like,
not. It's a different. And not in the 80s.
True, it's
now,
a different
for
era.
sure.
Yeah. The internet isn't there at that time. That's totally fair. I give you that. I tell you what, I did think about that. The Sark character. I couldn't look at, and this is a total random aside, but I couldn't look at him and not be like, that would be way cooler if that was Alan Rickman playing that part. Do you not? I don't know why. Like he kind of had a bit of Alan Rickman about him, but I was like,
That's actually fair. That's such a
a better
that's a
choice
good
for that
point.
role, right?
I don't hate that take. Yeah.
He was just a much worse, older Alan Rickman. I was like, come on, give the people what they want.
That's cool. I mean, Alan Rickman's another one with a back catalog that I haven't really fully like.
Great
He's
back
in Die
catalog,
Hard.
yeah.
I haven't really
One of my
seen the
favorite.
other stuff other than H-Pot. Yeah.
He's been in so many good things. I'm a big fan of Alan Rickman. Even his like early stuff. He came from like UK TV. He was I'm not gonna say a late bloomer, but he wasn't always the film star. Let's talk a bit about the ending to this.
Yeah, which
What did you think?
I mean, everything works out in the end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He just and this is what I meant about Flynn not really having an arc.
The only way to sacrifice to kill the MCP is to sacrifice. It was kind of messiah. How do you say that word?
But it didn't. Nothing hurt. Nothing hurt. It didn't hurt him. Like, nothing happened. He just jumped in and jumped back out.
Well, because he's a user.
Oh, because he's a user.
I guess if you were a programmer, it would have killed him, right? Like I don't know the rules. It
would have been way cooler if they carried on with the gladiatorial stuff, like you said, and there was some way that he had to defeat. I don't know. There just has to be more than him jumping into a big,
agreed,
fucking light head.
Agreed.
And then coming straight back out.
I mean, it's not great.
No.
I agree. It's not great.
No. Again, like none of that is that interesting or that prophetic in terms of that, like the broader scope of this movie. So why is it getting a legacy sequel? I'm just so baffled by it.
I don't get it. But I think to your point, like it's a bit, if you're gonna make, I think there was an opportunity to make the gladiatorial games like a kind of like metaphor for like hacking and like a metaphor for like dueling AIs, but not like with code, because how do you make that interesting with movies in a movie? And they like kind of like knew, like it seemed like they knew that and they set it up, and then you're right, it just kind of digressed to classic cocaine plot. Jump into the shiny lights. But
quick film, I called it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like I think I said this in our chat. Like Howard the Duck was better, in my opinion.
Oh, don't be. Come on.
I understand. I enjoyed watching Howard the Duck more than this. I understand why during its time it would have been like really
the Lost podcast. That was a long time ago. I did have 2 questions for you about that ending. Firstly, so the ending effectively is Flynn jumps into the MCP, causing it to freak out for a split second so that Tron can defeat it, and then he comes back out all Jesus-like, arms askew, and he then just gets transported back into the real world. But like, surely there's a real possibility that destroying the MCP before leaving, that he would get stuck there because that was his way in and out. Like, who pushed him back out?
Not really a true sacrifice then if you get out. Yeah.
Right.
No,
right.
I agree. I think it'd be way cooler and a way better sequel if, and maybe that's what they actually did with Legacy. I don't know. But
I've seen it. I can't remember it for the life in me.
If he gets stuck in there and he did sacrifice himself and then becomes the new villain, that's such a more interesting movie.
So in the new one, he doesn't become the new villain. He is in there. I think the idea of the sequel was he spent so much time in there that he kind of lost touch with reality and ended up sort of adopting it as his home effectively. And then his son was in the real world, and his son was like, "Where's my dad?" And I don't know why he said it like that. I was like, "Where's my dad?
Where's my daddy?"
His son then has to go in to like bring him back or whatever it is. So they tried. They really tried. But like my second question to you is then like, why does Flynn then just become the CEO? Like, so like, I mean, admittedly, like maybe he found the files he was looking for, but there's no indication of that. But like, there's this great scene where like a helicopter flies down and you're like, I guess the CEO's back, and it's really obvious who's going to step out of the helicopter, but there's supposed to be like a moment of tension, and it just Flynn hops out, and you're like, why does he become the CEO? Surely someone's better qualified.
It's just because 80s movie. It all works out.
Movies.
Yeah. No, there was no board meeting. I agree. How did this happen?
Exactly. He just gave them all cocaine and they all just carried on with life.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to take what you expect. You got to take what you get with a grain of salt with movies like this when you go in. And I always come
Right.
in from the like, this is what I like and this is what I want. Like, if I'm gonna go see a CEO takeover, I want to go see what's that word? Succession, essentially. Like, make it more like success, like
Right.
that. Like, go to the best of. But this is like a fucking 80s arcade movie. Why do I say things like that? Because I'm annoying. So yeah.
Of course. You've gotta like suspend that disbelief for just a minute. I do have a couple of Tommy's miscellaneous notes before we move on, if you don't mind. I did kind of mention the first one. The first one was just the bike game is just Snake, but with motorbikes.
Yeah, and it's a good game. Probably a better game than Snake.
Yeah, I would say that'd be really fun to play. Shitloads of fun. There was a scene when character who we've not talked about, Ram, really good use of computer terms there, guys. Ram is dying. The code, whatever he is, and him and Jeff Bridges are like real close, having like a real intimate moment. Two people who've barely spent any time on screen together, having a real intimate moment. And all my
Him and
brain
Ram.
could do is that thing that I've told you about. That when I'm watching a movie with the fiance, there'll be like two characters on screen who are absolutely polar opposites or like enemies or whatever, and they get real close together, and I just go, kiss in her ear.
Oh
And
God.
it really pisses her off every time. But that's all I could think of in that exact moment. I was like, is he gonna kiss him? That's a bit fucking weird. Final miscellaneous thought was just this is all cocaine and acid, right? Like that writer's room is just pure 80s like insanity.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Probably.
They should
Timeline,
bring that back sometime.
script.
I'd like to see what they'd make these days.
Oh, no, I do, dude. It's not good.
No.
No,
I
it's
mean,
a
like, if you think
terrible
about the
idea.
sensibilities of right now, like, get some ideas, Flair, man. Get some, open your mind.
No, but
Get that
that's the problem.
DMT in you. Do some Joe
Maybe that. Yeah,
Rogan.
that I would be okay with.
Right? Same, but different, just in less high doses. Let's do some tones and themes. So for anyone who's new to this, we talk about the themes of the movie. This is one which isn't necessarily that deep or overwhelmingly thematically interesting, but we touched on a couple. There's the AI piece to it, which is way ahead of its time. There's corporate greed, there's manipulation, those types of things. Like, what do you reckon? Anything we've not talked about?
I mean, innovation versus corporate power.
Right. Right.
Individual versus like control, freedom versus control. I guess there's definitely like a man versus machine element, as well.
Especially when he kisses Laurie, he's definitely going against
Man
it.
in machine.
Man in machine, baby.
Gross.
It's a weird fucking film. What are we talking about here? Do you want to do 3 best, 3 worst? What do you got? You got any? I know you've definitely got some worst there.
I mean, like the concept of like the gladiatorial digital games is interesting.
True.
Um,
I'm in for that. I think that's good. I like the concept. I like the. I tell you what I really liked in this, and this is kind of niche, but I really like the use of darkness in the film. So there was a lot of black. It kind of it made me feel like it inspired the Batman the animated series from the late 90s, early 2000s, where instead of drawing onto white paper, they drew onto black paper and lightened things. It felt like it started black and then they brought light on top of it. So I thought it was really interesting. It was an interesting way to create the world, and there was a theme about light and dark specifically. So all of the scenes when the NPC was in control, it was dark in whatever world they were in, as in it was like nighttime, or the world was specifically dark when they were in the computer. And then as soon as the NCP lost control, like dawn broke. So it's like there are these themes of light and dark, and like it's pretty goddamn tentative, but like I kind of like that. The best I could come up with.
Jeff Bridges. I mean, always interesting to see him and just his like bombastic
Good guy.
charisma.
He does have a charisma. I like him. I feel like I need to watch more of his stuff.
It's a different kind of charisma, but yeah.
I
mean, True Grit is like an all-time movie for me.
Classic.
The remake. That's all I got for good. Bad. I mean,
story, the
just
acting,
some missteps, some it's just very tropey. You're not watching this unless you're weird like us, to be honest. In 2020,
or you want to watch a cult classic. People love cult classics. They go back to them all the time.
Yeah.
Look at My Old Man. Used to watch this plenty. Agreed. Probably more worst and best this week.
Yeah, I could go.
What
I
can I
could go
say?
on, but we've already talked about them. I won't be reductive.
Let's talk a bit about the critical reception for this. Modern critical reception, of course. Can you guess me the current IMDb score for this?
I mean, it's hard because like IMDb was so far after. Maybe 7.5. It's gonna go in the middle.
No, it's a 6.7.
I don't know. Maybe there's people that like loved it.
Well, I feel like these scores are pretty reflective of how you feel. Actually, you know what?
Well, I
Maybe not.
guess like that's the point. IMDb is such an older thing than it would be like. I mean, it's a newer thing, so it'd be like all people like
Well,
me.
all of it is. All of it is. Yeah, yeah. What do you reckon the Rotten Tomatoes score is then?
I mean, it's 50.
You were closer with your IMDb. It was 73.
Yeah.
But I feel like that maybe has rose-tinted spectacles on it a fair amount. Like, this has got a lot of critical, as in from critics, has a lot of love from them. So, like, I see why that's high.
Odd.
Finally, then guess me the letterbox score. It's always 3.6, but never 3.6.
This is gonna be like 3.2.
Yes, it's 3.2. You got it, my man. On the money this week. I love that for you. What we do now, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about our rating system. Now, for anyone who's new or hasn't seen this before, we ask a very simple question. The internet is binary. So therefore we say, is this better or worse than the most average movie we know? The perfect on-the-nose 5. Is this better than Aquaman 2018 and why? DL, I think this is a tough one this week. This is the toughest one we've had in a little while.
It is actually.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got to give it credit for like doing something different, but like I would argue this is worse than Howard the Duck. So I guess I gotta say worse.
Oh, if you're gonna go that deep, jeez.
I guess I gotta say worse, but I mean, I take you. I'm sure you'll say better, and I understand why.
Man, I said this up top. This is one of my dad's favorite movies. I get it's a cult classic, but watching it back, I don't think it holds up. It was
Yeah,
painful to watch at times. I was
it
like,
is.
oh, and like the big swings. I love the big swings. We messaged about this. We should stop messaging because we're using all of our gold while we're texting rather than saving it for this. No, I like it took some big swings, and I like that. And I
Yeah.
thought some of the themes were super interesting. I would you, if you said to me right now, go back and watch one of those two movies, I'm gonna pick Aquaman. So I've got to say Aquaman. I'd rather watch that than this in this exact moment. I gotta say it.
Yeah.
It's worse than Aquaman. Sorry, anyone who loves this movie. Sorry. Let's finish up then with a little bit of trivia, true or false. You keen for that?
Yeah. So
Excellent. While the film, trivia, true, trivia, false, DL. While the film was a commercial quotation marks failure, the arcade games based on it proved to be a tremendous hit and actually outgrossed the film. True or is that false?
that could be true. That's
The
true.
film about video games and arcade games?
It's true.
It is true. Just to preface, guys, this is IMDb trivia. This could be absolute nonsense. But yes, that is, according to IMDb, true. Okay. Trivia true, trivia false. I've done the same one twice, so you're only getting 3 this week. Trivia true, trivia false, DL. This actually won a sweep of VFX Oscar Awards. Is that true or is that false? The Full House.
I mean, that could be true. I'm gonna say false.
It is false. It was actually disqualified because at the time, it was actually contentious because they believed that using computers was cheating. Look at them now, baby. Look at them now. All the computers
Yeah.
ever. Yeah, mad. Isn't that wild? Buck wild. All right, finally,
Yeah.
trivia, true, trivia, false, DL. The state-of-the-art computer used, I'm putting massive quotation marks around that. State-of-the-art computer used in the film's key special effects had only 2 megabytes of memory and 330 megabytes of storage, which is batshit wild if that's true.
Is that just like a thumbnail today?
It's nothing. It's barely anything.
Yeah.
2 megabytes. You can't even save a picture smaller than that.
True, I guess.
It
that's
is
too
true.
Yeah.
Isn't that Isn't that wild? Oh
Yeah,
man,
storage
computers have come
costs
so
have gone
far.
down for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
It's all in the
have.
cloud.
It's crazy. Yeah.
What are you doing? Ultimately, I enjoyed the nostalgia of this. I think I'm probably going to enjoy this more than I'm going to enjoy anything with Jared Leto in. So, like, it was fun to
Yeah.
go back and watch. No, you didn't have the best time, but I suggest if you're in for a cult classic, you should go and watch it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's other things you can watch, but if you like it from this, you'll definitely like it watching it because I've been pretty negative. God, I need another glass of cup of coffee. I can't speak right now. It's
You
too
do
early.
need another cup of Joe. DL, do you want to wrap up the show for the ladies and gentlemen?
Of course. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you.
Give us a rating. Give us a watch. Give us a share. Do all that good stuff.
Share it to your friends. If you know people who like geeky nonsense.
And if you like the editing on this week's episode, there's a big thank you to Matthew Bliss, who does that for us.
As always.
Thankfully. Yeah, and he kind of edits and masters these things.
He's evolved. He's now editing video.
Editing master Matthew. If you'd like to be like us and have a really great edited podcast, if we don't say so ourselves, message Matt at business@mbpod.com or mbpod.com.
He's the best.
Just check it out. Do his services. He's also got a couple podcasts. Rethink Podcasting is the most recent one. Short thought pieces on kind of like how to kind of think about and create and
rethink.
Well said.
We could do some of that. Yeah, he's great. Great content, guys. Go away, check out Matt Bliss. Thank you so much for sticking with it. We really appreciate you. Thank you for coming to our YouTube content. It's been coming for a long time. If you could hit that like, share, and subscribe, it would be really valuable to us. Thank you so much. And if you know anyone who likes kind of geeky nonsense, give the gift of Podcast Assemble. We'd love it if you would. Thank you for sticking with it, guys. DL, tally ho.
Tally-o.
Haters Gator.